Well, at just 25 years old, entrepreneur Ariana Pierce has already achieved what many adults aspire to in a lifetime. Get this, she launched her own nail polish line at 18, has gone on to start her own accessories company, a hit blog, and released a new book, Skip the Party, Start a Business. She's here on this Motivation Monday to help inspire millennials to achieve their dreams in 2017. Please welcome Ariana Pierce. Wow, you want to talk about motivation?
Oh
I am so motivated just hearing about all of this.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate that.
Well, so first of all, before we get into some of the tips that you have for other young women, how did this come to be? I mean, tell us a little bit about when you were like, well, I'm going to start a nail polish business.
Well, this whole entrepreneurial journey started when I was 13 years old. So I know I was very young, but I went to my mother and I said, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. I had seen my grandfather, he was a business owner, my mother, my parents, and they said, okay, we'll start something with you. So, I did the little lemonade stands and I wrote my first kids book when I was just 13. But fast forward to 17 years old, I was graduating from high school, going into my freshman year at Michigan State University. And I said, you know what? I want something where I can help millions of women everywhere just feel their best. And of course, that can be hard to do, to inspire millions and millions of people. So the idea came to me and I said, well, if I start a beauty company like a nail polish line, I'll be able to touch a lot of women around the world much easier that way. And they'll feel beautiful all at the same time. So that's really how it got started. And then it just took off from there while I was in college at Michigan State.
And now you're traveling all around the country and you're sharing all of these wonderful tips. So let's get right into it. I want to start with some of the tips that you have for millennials, for entrepreneurs. So first one, get a vision for your year.
Yes. I believe that you should definitely have a vision for your year, and how you can best do that is come up with some type of phrase that you can say about your year. For example, this year I'm going to go big in everything that I do. Now, what this phrase will do, it will help you to stay focused, because many times as entrepreneurs, or as as millennials, I'm thinking entrepreneurs right now, but many times as millennials, we get off focus because there's a lot of distractions coming our way. But if we have some type of phrase or some type of word that we can focus on, we'll be less likely to get off focus.
Okay, so focus. Read to succeed.
Yes, I believe that reading is so important. One thing that my parents always taught me growing up was that successful people leave clues in their books. So what that means is you want to get books that are success driven and in the industry that you want to be in. So whatever it is you want to be in, get topics on that industry, get books on that industry, and you'll be able to find out, hey, is this something that I really want to do? And you'll be less likely to fall into the traps or the different things that come with the industry, because you will have read it from someone else. So make sure you read, so that way you can be very successful.
So read and travel is another piece of advice you have.
Yeah, travel. This is what I say all the time. I say travel exposes you to new opportunities and opens your mind up to new possibilities.
I love that.
And I say that all the time because I love travel. I consider myself a travel girl. And so when you travel, your mind is open. You're able to see new things. You're able to see how other people are living. And whether that's abroad or local, sometimes we think you have to travel to another country in order to be inspired. But sometimes you can just go to a local museum or a local library or anything like that, and you'll be inspired. So it's really just getting outside of your neighborhood, outside of your comfort zone. Go somewhere where you can be inspired.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then number 4, dress for success.
Yes, dress for success. That is important, because your image educates others on how they should treat you. It's true. How you present yourself is an indicator of how you want to be treated as a person in your industry. So what I say for millennials, whether they're in business or maybe you're looking for a job or you're going into a certain career, research that industry and see, what do they wear? What is the normal uniform? Then, of course, add in your own flair, so that way you can have your own style. But once you find out what that uniform is or what they usually wear, you're able to stay in line and you can be more confident, because you'll feel good about yourself when you're around them.
I completely agree. Yeah. When you look like you feel good, you change.
Exactly.
And finally, write your way to success.
Yes, it's so important to write your way to success. I believe what's written is real. So when you write things down, you're able to better focus in on your year. And I say write down positive affirmations about your year. So things like, hey, if you're in college, I will get good grades. grades, or I'm going to pass that class, or this year I will be successful, I will be focused. This will help you to, one, obviously be more positive, and to keep focus on your goals that you have set for the year.
Well, Ariana Pierce, you have inspired all of us, and I highly encourage everyone to pick up a copy of Skip the Party, Start a Business. We are so happy that you came by. Go to her website to find out more information. Best of luck as you continue on with your tour inspiring other millennials.